Oh my.
Welcome to the new show of Dick in the Box, where every box is left up to interpretation because we're all dicks. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the next episode of Dick in the Box. It's your boy Ian L. Haddock. Welcome into the motherfucking room. Hopefully, y'all have been great. I know it's been a while. You know, I've slowed down on my drinking, child, so we'll see how this goes because I've slowed down on my drinking. I'm having a little bit, just a little light, because the bitch is nervous. Why am I nervous? Because today I'm recording by myself. I realized I've had everybody else on the couch except for my motherfucking self, and so today I have invited myself to the motherfucking couch. Welcome on in, Ian Haddock. Well, anyway, child. Hopefully, y'all are excited to hear what's going on. Since we've been gone, it's been a couple things happening. Um, with me, not much actually. I've been like super quiet, super boring. Actually, I'm looking for some excitement, child. But things have been going pretty good. I've been working on some things. Last week, I released with my friend Daniel J. Downer. Uh, we're doing a Broken Girls tour. We're going to talk more about that in the future, but be looking out for that information. Something else that I read, child, Houston is getting an In and Out burger. I absolutely think those motherfuckers are disgusting, but it's really hard for me to like really be moved by a burger place. First of all, especially like a burger chain. Why? Because I eat burgers plain. Okay, burger chain, burger plain. And so I'm not really moved by burger places, especially nasty ass In and Out. I don't really like many of the fucking burger chains that come down to Houston regularly. I'm not a fan of Carl's Jr. I'm not a fan of In and Out. If y'all are from Houston or if y'all plan on visiting Houston, there's this place called Big Belly. Now, granted, the burgers are like huge, and sometimes I think they're like too huge sometimes. But I mean, they are amazing. That's the motherfucking burger. And let me tell you why I'm an expert on burgers. First of all, I'm fat. Okay. But above that, also, no, real talk. Because I don't eat much on a burger. So that means like the meat has to be good. I mean, anybody could get really fresh lettuce and tomatoes, child. Oh, somebody else that got a good burger, Bex Prime. Obviously, a bitch is hungry, but you know, we getting it In and Out, so y'all check that out. Also, friend to the show, Latavia. Hey, Latavia, and hopefully soon to be friend to the show, Beyonce. They took a picture together. They've reunited after 18 years, so we're really excited about that. We don't necessarily know what's going on with that. I'm sure when Ryan, my lovely co-host, comes back, he'll talk to us a little bit more about what that may or may not mean. Because if I mean he doesn't really talk about it much, but he is Latavia's manager, so I'm sure he may know something about that or not. But we shall hear more about that. We did see the picture, so we've seen pictures with Beyonce and everybody, including her luggage. So I guess Farrah's a no. But it's kind of dope. It's kind of dope. I will say I would be so down for a DC. What is that? 5 reunion. I would even be down. No shade. I love Michelle. I love Michelle. She's such a, I mean, her spirit is so pure. I also, I love Latavia, but if Kelly, Latoya, and Beyonce want to get back together, and Latavia, because Latavia really is like a dancer and actor, bitch, and she get together and put all the videos together. I'm not mad about that either, but I would definitely be down for a DC5 reunion. Hashtag DC5 fucking reunion. And also another social media celebrity, Joshua Dominique, got proposed to at one of the concerts here in Houston. We had 2 nights, and child, it had last time I checked, it was well over 1 million views, and the girls were reading. I plan on hopefully talking about marriage and what that looks like, but the girls were reading because he got proposed to like at the concert, not in the concert, but like in the arena outside the concert, and they were saying like he be in the children inbox saying, "Hey, big head" or something like that. Why is y'all mad that the people is getting married? You know what I'm saying? Monogamy is few and far in between in our community in the first place. Not to say that people need to be monogamous or not. I'm just saying like it's few and far in between. Marriage commitment is few and far in between in our community. So why are the girls so mad? Like, just let that lady be. Happy to you, Joshua Dominique. I've ran into him a couple times. He is so freaking cool. I hate you got all this backlash, but I mean, you know, more marriage, more problems, I guess. So yeah, we're happy for all of that. And so yeah, my box chatter is gonna be quite short. It's not a lot of banter when it's just you talking to yourself. But I kind of like this. This is kind of cute. I don't know. I don't know. I may do this a little bit more often. Um, Let me take me a little sip real quick. Tasty. Tasty. I'm going a little slower on this alcohol, child. If you know me, you know I love my tequila, but alcohol, I done turned 30, child, and I don't know. She done just done something totally different with my body. I can't be fucking with this alcohol like that. I think my aunt done cursed me, but that's another story for another day. My aunt told me the other day, child, not to be drinking. Not to be drinking so much. She's scared I'm gonna be an alcoholic. I ain't no alcoholic. I'm a social drinker, but that's what all alcoholics and drug addicts say, I guess. So anyway, our topic tonight. There has been a social media frenzy over this topic, and I felt especially compelled because some of my really close friends have shared some of their really personal stories that, and some of them I didn't even know. And I was wondering, I'm like, damn, we're not even talking about this because I never talked about my story. I've never heard their story, and I just think it's such a powerful topic. Hashtag why I didn't report. So I'm going to read verbatim this article so we can be caught up and we can understand what this is. So this is from Al Jazeera. It says sexual assault survivors are taking to Twitter to share their challenges in reporting abuse after U.S. President Donald Trump questioned Christine Blasey Ford's allegation against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. I was afraid nobody would believe me, and I was ashamed were among the reasons why thousands used why I didn't report, said they did not go to authorities at the time of an assault. The hashtag trended on Thursday morning after Trump tweeted, "I have no doubt that if the attack on Dr. Ford was as bad as she says, charges would have been immediately filed with local law enforcement by either her or loving parents." Trump's tweet came about a week after reports surfaced that Kavanaugh was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in the 1980s. According to Ford, whose identity was unknown until Sunday, Kavanaugh groped her and tried to take off her clothes at a party when they were teenagers. Kavanaugh has repeatedly denied the allegations. That's just the very beginning of the report. It goes on, but it's a really good topic. Excuse me. So I want to have a little talk about hashtag why I didn't report. Before I start, I want to preface this conversation because a lot of times these conversations can leave a lot of mixed emotions and mixed conclusions. Okay, so I do want to preface this conversation with a couple things. Predator behavior is not indicative of sexuality. Okay. Obviously, as a gay man, I'm either going to talk about a straight woman or another man who potentially touched me or touched somebody I know or me touching somebody, right? That does not indicate sexuality. Being a molester, being a predator, does not indicate sexuality. People do that because they have a low moral compass, right? No ethics and personal issues. It's generally a mental health issue, right? So please understand that predator molester behavior is not indicative of sexuality. They are not congruent with sexuality. You are not made gay because you had a predator as a man, right? You were not gay because you like little boys. That's a moral issue, okay? I want to preface that because I want us to be really clear about that. And the second thing is to just reinforce whether I was on the receiving or the giving end of assault, right? Which I will talk about pretty in depth. That is not an explanation why I'm gay. Why? Because I just fucking said predator and molester behavior is not indicative of sexuality. Okay? Don't read me, read a fucking book. Okay? That's it. So now that we understand the hashtag origination, I want to talk about for a moment why it's important for me to talk about this. So I have the unfortunate position of being on both sides as a young man. A lot of people will talk about boys being boys. I've talked about coercing young boys my age to have intercourse, but and I think that because a lot of people do it, like we think it's okay, but it's a different in coercing and talking boys into something, and mind fucking someone to feel comfortable doing what they are uncomfortable with doing, right? How do I know that? Because I have been on both ends. There was this young boy that I speak about quite often. I met him when I was young. We were right around the same age, maybe a couple years difference. And we played around. He was my first penetrative experience on the giving end. Like I fucked him. Okay. I coerced him. Like, I mean, I talked him into it. We were young. I talked and talked and talked, and he finally let me do it. And he was in pain. He was in pain. And people will say, well, I mean, you just talk trade into fucking. You talk trade into fucking. Well, this same young man hit me up, and he's still fucked up by it, just by his conversations. Like, he still wants sex, but he's married, has kids, and the reason why he wants it, he wants it with his words, a she-male. He wants me in a she-male. And he hit me up and asked me to do it with him. And I was really hurt because the fact that now he needs all these different fetishes, not that trans women are fetishes, but the way he was talking, the trans woman is a fetish to make him feel comfortable in the type of sex he wants to have, really shows that there was some damage and some trauma as a young man that I gave to this man. And it made me reflect over this guy that I messed with that was in the same grade as me. Me and him had messed around once or twice when I was in high school. He went to my church. We would sleep around in the usher's room. Yes, I was fucking in the church. Not necessarily happy about that, but I mean, it was what it was. I can't change it. I was sucking dick in the church. Hashtag sucking dick in the church. And anyway, when I was in 12th grade, he took me and he was taking me, my best friend, and me and my best friend's fuck buddy home. Yes, in 12th grade, me and my best friend had a fuck buddy. It was a small town. We was running the train on the same boy. We was cool with sharing. I ain't cool with sharing now, but we was cool with sharing some ass, child. And this one particular guy who I had messed with before had took us to the little waterfront. We call it the Dyke. It's the Texas City Dyke, and pretty much told us like we wasn't leaving off there if we didn't perform sexual acts for him. Now, granted, me and him had willingly played around in the past, but we wasn't willingly playing around at that point. So it was scary because this is a big old nigga. I mean, I wasn't always this thick, voluptuous, and fine. I was a little bitty thing, with no money, and he was taking us home from the football game, and I was scared, so I started screaming like a little bitch. He had put us in that car so motherfucking quick and took us home. And crazy enough, we never spoke again. So this topic is really close to my heart because I've been on both sides, even as a kid, multiple times in different situations where I was forced or coerced into situations where where I was uncomfortable, or I did the same to other people, and I'm able to, because I'm such an empath. Unfortunately, when I do fucked up shit, I get to see it play out in front of me. So that's what happened. But I did want to talk about, an actual situation on my hashtag why I didn't report story. Let me take another drink, child. So, hashtag why I didn't report it. I didn't report it because prostitutes are nothing. Yeah, that's why I didn't report it. Mine happened probably in 2010. I had asked God to get me out of sex work, child, because I wasn't making no money, as cute and, fine at the time as I was. I wasn't really making enough money to survive. I had lost the relationship from, somebody I thought I would never be able to get over prostituting and hoeing. And I just wanted to get out. I was evicted from my apartment and I was staying on a couch of someone who had paid me for sex prior and pretty much was like, either you gonna put out or you gonna give me money to live here. And so, although I had prayed and asked God to pretty much take it from me, take prostitution from me, I needed to move. And something about sex work, like all addictions, and yes, I am correlating sex work to addictions sometimes, you feel like you can't get out. You feel like there is no other way. And all I could think of was I can put out on this man's couch and live with him by fucking him, or I could have my own place by fucking someone else to get a movie in special, right? And so I had got on Adam for Adam, put up my ad, and this guy hits me up. So the guy hits me up and he's like, what's up? No, let me go back. I had been up all night waiting for it because I'm like, God, I know. Yes, I talk to God like this. I was having a whole conversation with God. Like, God, just give me a good lick and then I'll leave it alone. I'll go find me a job. Just let me get out this man's house off his couch. And I went to sleep probably about 5:15 at the computer screen because I was just waiting on it. I'm just waiting on it, counting on it. That's how delirious you can be and desperate in those situations. And so I'm like, please let somebody hear it. I go to sleep by 5:15. I wake up no later than 7 a.m. It's 5:15 a.m. I wake up no later than 7 a.m. clicking back that refresh button on A for A. And here goes a message. Hey, how are you? I respond like, bitch, I'm fine. What's good? So he responds probably 30 minutes later. I got $500 for you to come over here and fuck me. I'm like, yes, ma'am, bitch. This is exactly what I need. But the bad part was I didn't realize I had fell asleep again. It's like 9 in the morning. So I sent him a message at 9 in the morning like, what's good? Let me come through. He like, I'm already at work. I'm like, fuck. So he sends me another message. Why is such a good guy like you on a website like this? And I said, look, my love, I am not here for your banter regarding me and my, my career, what I do for a living. I'm here to make money, because when you that desperate, bitch, you don't want to talk about nothing but the coin, okay? And anyway, he was like, no, I'm just saying I can get you a job. And I looked up to the heavens. I said, God, this must be you. Can somebody whisper something in their friends ear? Text your friends and say, just because it looks easy don't mean God sent it. Can we say that? Because my bitch ass really had thought God had sent me a lifeline. So the man tell me that there's going to be a Nabisco factory coming down to Houston and that he is one of the directors. He tells me, I can get you a job. Now, granted, I do really well now, but back then I had never had like a real job. Like I had part-time retail jobs and things like that, call center jobs. But this man had told me, I never forget this amount. He said they was going to pay me $16.52. And I was excited about that $16.52. And I said, so how do I get on? I had said, fuck the $500. Let me just get a job because my job is the way out. I didn't ask God for a way out. He giving me a way out. So a bitch was super excited. So he tells me, and I know y'all probably going to look at your goddamn phone, look at your earphones and be like, bitch, Ian, you stupid. Remember, this is like 8 years ago. I've grown a lot. But he told me I had to come to Lafayette, Louisiana to do the orientation. I said, when? He said, you need to be here by 8 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, I ain't had no motherfucking car. But I called my friend. I said, can you drive me or can I use your car to go all the way to Lafayette? He said, bitch, how? I borrowed money from here, borrowed money from there. And the man told me, please don't come with anybody. That's what he told me. And I said, why? And he said, because we going to have you rooming with somebody else that's on their way down here to start. And so there won't be no space for anybody else to sleep. I said, okay, cool. So I get there. I actually went with my boo thing right at that time. I was with somebody. And he had rolled with me. And we was just going to figure this shit out, because something in my mind just was not comfortable. And so my boo thing, sat in the car. I got there. The supervisor, who I had been chatting back and forth with, meets me at the front, lets me in the room, and he tells me that my roommate will be in a little bit later. I'm like, okay, cool. So we sitting there talking. We doing the I-9 form. We doing, I give him my social, my ID. Like, we doing everything. We doing all of the legit forms on, like, how to get this motherfucking job. And so then he was like, while we wait on your friend, do you want some food or anything? I was trying to wait on him before I got the food. And I was like, honestly, no. And he was like, you look nervous. Do you want drink? You want something to drink? And I was like, actually, yeah. As I drink my tequila. Actually, yeah. So we went and got some gin from the little corner store, because in Louisiana you can go to the corner store and get you some gin. So we drank the gin or whatever. We go back to the La Quinta that I'm staying in. My boo thing's still sitting in the car because he don't want nobody in there. And so we sit down, we talking, and then he asked me, he said, "Are you openly gay?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you can't be openly gay in the plant." And I'm like, He was like, "Yeah, it's a masculine job." He said, and then he asked, "Did you bring anybody with you?" And I said, "Yeah, I brought somebody with me, but he gonna stay with his friend." And he was like, "Oh, I told you not to bring nobody with you." And I was like, "Yeah, but it was a long drive. I didn't feel comfortable driving by myself. I've never driven this far by myself." And he was like, "Okay, okay. Well, this is what we got to do, because I don't want you getting in no trouble. What I need you to do is I'm going to let him stay in the room with you. But if I call you and say anybody coming, I'm going to switch your roommate out. If I call you and I tell you anybody coming, I need him to hide, or I need you to jump your ass up and get out of here, okay? Because I don't want you getting in no trouble." Now, me telling you this right now, I'm like, this shit don't even make no motherfucking sense. But, bitch, I was thinking about that $16.52, okay? And I wanted that coin. I wanted to get off this man's motherfucking couch. And I was just, I was uncomfortable. So it made sense. So my dude at the time comes in. We lay down, we go to sleep. 2:23 in the morning, I look over. My phone is going off like brr, 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 because it's on vibrate. And pick up the phone. He like, I've been calling you. Somebody coming. Come out the hotel because they're gonna come and get you because something was wrong with your I-9 form. And I'm like, okay. So I jump up, brush my teeth, run out the what's the name. I'm feeling like I'm on, like online for something. It felt like I was online for a fraternity or some shit. So I go outside. He picks me up and he was like, "We're gonna go by my house and we just gonna send it off from my house so they can have it in the morning." And I was like, "Okay, cool." We get to his house. He pins me down immediately. We get to his house. We get to his living room. He pins me down on the couch and said, "I'm going to fuck the shit out of you." And I said, "No, the fuck you not." I'm the trade, feeling like the trade. "No, the fuck you not." He was like, "Yes, the fuck I am." And I was like, "Dude, you better move." So I'm like talking loud. He was like, "Shut up, my neighbor's going to hear you. Shut up, my neighbor's going to hear you." And he like reaches to his pocket, and I'm like, "What the fuck you got? Like, what the fuck you got?" He was like, "You better shut the fuck up. My neighbor's gonna hear you." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not here for any of this. I'm not here for any of this." And he was like, "But you selling it on motherfucking Adam for Adam. You selling it on Adam for Adam. Why I can't get none?" And I was like, "But you gonna be my boss, dumbass." I'm so stupid. He was like, dude, dude, you selling this shit on Adam for Adam. And I'm like, "So what do you want me to do?" He was like, "You gonna take this dick?" I said, "Nah, I ain't for taking no dick. I ain't taking no dick, man. I ain't taking no dick." He was like, "So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" I was like, "Man, I suck it a little bit." And he was like, "Okay, well, get down and suck it." And I just kind of like gave him two licks and a swirl because I wasn't, I'm not really feeling like really sucking no dick after, like, I don't know what's in your back pocket, bitch. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Lafayette, Louisiana. It's dark as dumb fuck, okay? And you motherfucking like, I'm feeling very vulnerable here. And I know I'm like kind of like making it comedic, but bitch, I don't know how else to do it because bitch, it was scary than a motherfucker. And I was scared. I mean, for real, for a second, I was really scared, for real, because I knew that my picture was all over the internet, prostituting, and if I came up missing, if I came up dead, all they was gonna say to my mama was he was a prostitute. And at that time, I was getting so drunk that people really believed that I was on drugs and hard drugs before hard drugs was cool. And I wasn't, but that would have been my narrative. I had nothing else. I had no platform. I had no, support system. I have friends, but I didn't have the support system I have now. And so that would have been my narrative. And so all I could think of is like, I gotta do something because sex workers ain't shit. But at the same time, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do it. But I did it for a while. And then I was just like, I'd rather die running than die, um, like on my knees sucking this man dick. So I don't know where the strength came from or the direction because I'm not that good with direction. I got my ass up and I ran out this man's door screaming and hollering at the top of my lungs, just like I did with the guy when I was young. And he came out the same way that happened when I was young. He said, "Get in my motherfucking car. I'm taking you to the hotel." And I don't know, something in that. I don't know why I got in the car. I did. And he did take me to the hotel, thank God, because I don't know how I got there. And it was scary. But then the craziest part was he hit me up. He hit me up about 2 months later. Was just like, "What's up?" Text message to me. I'm like, "Dude, how dare you fucking hit me up? Like, dude, I'll call the police on you." And you know what this motherfucker had nerve enough to say and do? He said, "Call the police on me. They're not going to arrest you. You're a sex worker and I have you in a video." I said, how dare you record me doing something like that? He said, "It looked consensual in the video. You are a sex worker." And he said, "And I have all of your information, including your emergency contact," which happened to be my mama and her phone number and address. He said, "I will forward this to your mother." And yeah, from then on, I said, this sex working bullshit ain't for me. And I have to take greater pride in my body. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I said all that to say I'm really appreciative of this hashtag why I didn't report trend that's going on. I appreciate everybody for being vulnerable. I invite you to share this podcast episode with your hashtag why I didn't report story. And I hope this was informative. And I hope it also showed like my vulnerable side because a lot of times I'm like super silly or super insightful, but I hope this showed my vulnerable side. And I hope that you fucking rate us 5 stars and leave a fucking comment, even if it's your fucking comment of why you didn't report. So love y'all. This motherfucking box is closed.